Oh, hey, fabulous firm owners, Claudia here. In this video, I'm going to share with you the traits and characteristics of my most successful clients. So that's the law firm owners and the immigration firm owners who I work with. So over the last 6 years, I've had the privilege of working with over 600 law firm and immigration firm owners in a coaching and mentoring role. And I have worked with some of the most innovative and entrepreneurial lawyers and migration experts in the industry, mostly in Australia, some from New Zealand, and then some from further afield as well. And one of the things I've noticed is that my most successful clients usually share or have traits or characteristics in common when it comes to running and building their firms. And I wanted to share those common traits with you today. So the first one is that they have very clear expectations with their clients and their teams, and they regularly have courageous conversations to enforce those boundaries. So the way that they make those expectations and those boundaries clear is a couple of different ways. So with their team, they have set and very clear KPIs with regular conversations around those KPIs and how their teams are meeting those or otherwise. And then with their clients, they have very clear expectations set with their clients throughout their lawyer-client relationship. So from the first consultation, clear boundaries are set around that first consultation and clear expectations. And then when it comes to the costs agreement or the proposal or the engagement letter, clear boundaries and expectations are set with clients during that process as well, around times that the lawyer is available, times or response time, what they expect of the client in terms of getting documents signed and turnaround times for that, what they expect around clients providing information in a timely way so that they're not always having to chase clients up, those sorts of things. So that is something that I've seen a lot of my most successful clients have in place, very clear boundaries and expectations with staff and with clients. Number two is that my most successful clients have very clear goals and they work very hard towards those goals, but they're not attached to the result, which means that if they don't hit the result or hit the goal that they were working hard towards in the time frame that they'd set themselves, they don't get all down in the dumps about it. They just carry on. So they really enjoy the journey. I think as lawyers, we are often, overachievers. And so if we don't make the grade or if we don't achieve the goal within the required, or within the time frame that we've set, we get really down about it and we get really hard on ourselves and we give up because we didn't do it. We failed. But the most successful firm owners that I've worked with don't think like that. They, like I said, they set a goal and they work really hard towards it, but they're unattached from the outcome. They enjoy the process and they feel confident, they trust themselves that they will achieve the outcome or some other outcome that they want in time when the time comes. And so they keep chipping away at it until eventually they do achieve the result or some other version of the result that they end up achieving as part of the journey. So I think that when we can become less attached to the result, we do end up enjoying the journey more. The steps along the way become more fun because we can enjoy it. We don't need to achieve something by a certain date because we trust that we will achieve it eventually. Even if we don't achieve it by this date, we will achieve it eventually. And in the meantime, we're going to enjoy the process of working towards it. So that was the second trait. The third trait that I've noticed my most successful clients have in common is that they are very good listeners. So they listen to strategies, they listen to advice, but they listen with discernment and think about their own situation and how those strategies and how that advice would apply to their own firm and their own business. They think about it with discernment. They don't instantly just pounce on any strategy and apply it. They think about the strategy, they listen to the strategy, and they think about how that would work for their firm and if it would work. So they are very discerning, and they don't just jump into applying a strategy or implementing a strategy because XYZ lawyer down the road did that. They really think about their own situation and their own goals and whether that strategy fits in with that. And then based on their intuition, they will decide whether or not to implement a strategy and they do it based on whether it feels right to them, based on their situation. So that's the third one. The fourth one is that my most successful clients, they take full responsibility for their results and they don't spend precious energy blaming other people or other things when life doesn't go their way or when things don't go their way. So they always think about how they've contributed to the result and they think about what they can control, which is their own inputs, and they reflect on those and how they could do better next time. They don't blame this person or blame that person, or if a relationship with somebody else has resulted in them not getting the result that they want, then they reflect on how they contributed to that. They don't blame the other person. So I think that is a huge mindset shift that they've been able to achieve, which helps them to get great results. The next one is that when strategies or tactics that they implement into their law firm or immigration firm, if they implement something and it's not instantly successful, then they patiently tweak what they're doing, often again and again and again, and they keep doing it until they get the result that they want. So that's in contrast with some other firm owners that I've worked with who will try something, it won't be instantly successful, and they will give up and say that won't work for them. Where the most successful law firm owners and immigration firm owners that I work with, they will try something, they will get some sort of a result. They may not, and it may not be as wonderful as they had hoped, but it's still a result and I guess a starting point, which they will then start tweaking and incrementally improving until they get it to where they want it to be. Another thing that they do, that my most successful clients do, is they ask for help quickly when they need it, and they often ask for help often. Not always, some don't, but often they will ask for help often. And when something isn't going how they want it to go, instead of sitting there feeling frustrated, they will ask. They will reach out and ask. And that way they can get feedback, advice, opinions straight back, which they can listen to with discernment and then tweak what they're doing to start to improve the result that they're getting. The next trait that I've noticed that my most successful clients have is that they know their ideal client incredibly well, and they use this knowledge to build a really strong brand. So in terms of how they get to know their ideal client incredibly well, they spend time up front figuring that out. And usually what they do to get to know their ideal client really well is they spend a lot of time asking their ideal client what it is that they actually want and need. They're not afraid of getting in there and getting their hands dirty and asking those questions that a lot of law firm owners aren't prepared to ask for whatever reason. So they will spend time, interviewing their ideal clients, not about necessarily the legal services or the services that they provide, but just getting to know their ideal client and what keeps them up at night. What are they thinking? What are the things that worry them the most? What are they fearful of happening in the future? What's frustrating them right now? What do they want right now? What do they aspire to? What is their behavior like online? What platforms do they use? How do they use those platforms? When do they use them? What events are they going to? What are they reading? What are they thinking about? What are they watching? My most successful clients know the answers to those questions like the back of their hand. So that is something that is common. They know their ideal clients super well, and they build a really strong, clear brand around that. The next thing is that my most successful clients, they celebrate the small wins daily. So because they're really clear on their goals, they know when a small win, or when something kind of small happens in the day-to-day, is something that they should celebrate. So for example, I got a message from one of my clients the other day. He has been building up a practice in a certain area of law. And that day he signed up 2 new clients who fit his ideal client profile. Now, a lot of the law firm owners that I've worked with over the years, they wouldn't celebrate that. But he was celebrating that. He was excited. He was sending me a whole lot of celebratory emojis and said that he was going to, have a drink with his partner after work to celebrate this, because being able to, bring in 2 of these types of clients on the same day was a big win for him. So that's what I mean, celebrating the small wins. Like, what are the small wins that you achieve on a daily basis that you could be celebrating? Another one of my clients, whenever they bring on an ideal client, they write the ideal client's first name on a post-it and put it on the wall and kind of make like cool pictures out of the post-its as a way of stopping for a moment and recognizing that they're doing an incredible job in attracting the clients that they really want to be working with, and celebrating that as a win. So that is a common trait. My most successful clients, they celebrate the small wins regularly. The next thing is that they know their numbers and they use their numbers to drive growth. So my most successful clients track certain numbers every month on month, and they know how to use that data to see what the opportunities are for their business and where the challenges are, so that they can make the right moves in the right sequence in order to get the growth that they are looking for. So that's really key. And then the final thing that I see that my most successful clients have in common is that they are very driven and they don't let the opinions of others, particularly other lawyers, get in their way. So as an innovative lawyer, and you may have experienced this yourself, other lawyers will often have something to say about the way that you do business, or the way that you do things, because you may do things a little differently. And the lawyers who have been doing things for many years can sometimes be a bit quick to judge. And I see with some of my clients that holds them back. They're terrified of being ostracized because they are doing something in their business which may be a bit unconventional or innovative or different. And I've seen over the years a lot of law firm owners be held back by that. And what I've noticed about my most successful clients is that they don't let the opinions of other lawyers get in their way. So, one of my most successful clients, he owns an immigration firm, and he has had some quite serious backlash from other immigration firm owners about the way that he does things and what his beliefs are around his business and the way that he does things and the way that he practices. And while it may have been a bit uncomfortable, he's never let that stand in his way or get him down or stop him from driving forward to creating his version of his dream firm that's right for him. So those are the 10 traits of my most successful law firm and immigration firm owner clients. I would love for you to reflect on these traits and use them as some inspiration on potentially how you could bring some of that energy to your firm and to your life. All right, bye-bye.